Hi, this is Black Crow again, and I want to read a couple of things or one thing to you. And I get this letter thing. It's the Levitt letter. It's from Zola Levitt. He's a Messianic Jew. Zola went home to be with the Lord in 2006, and this is a publication that the organization still puts out. And if you ever get a chance to watch their television programs, they're absolutely wonderful. The article I want to read is this one right here. It's Allah rewards the raping of prisoners. Now, this was written and published on the Syrian International News Agency website, which, if you want to go there, it's www.aina.org. I went there earlier today, and it's a pretty interesting site. All kinds of information and stuff. You can get a lot of history on the Assyrian thing. But let me read this. It says an influential Shiite religious leader told followers that coercion by means of rape, torture, and drugs is acceptable against all opponents of the Islamic regime. In the wake of publications worldwide regarding the rape and torture of dissident prisoners in Iran's jails, supporters of Ahmadinejad gathered with him recently and heard from Ayatollah Mohammad Taqi Meshba Yazdi and Ahmadinejad himself regarding the issue. According to an independent Israeli intelligence analysis organization, Mesbah Yazdi is considered Ahmadinejad's personal spiritual guide. A radical totalitarian, even in Iranian terms, he holds messianic views, in other words, about the Mahdi, and supports increasing Islamization and calls for violent suppression of domestic political opponents. In other words, he wants them killed. The following text is from a transcript said by Iranian dissidents to be questions and answers exchanged between the Ayatollah and his supporters. Warning: the question and answer session partially reproduced here contains disturbing descriptions of sanctioned brutality. Asked if a confession obtained by applying psychological, emotional, and physical pressure was valid and considered credible according to Islam, Mesbah Yazdi replied, getting a confession from any person who is against the Velayat Afaqi, the regime of Iran's mullahs, is permissible under any condition. The Ayatollah gave the identical answer when asked about confessions obtained through drugging the prisoner with opiates or addictive substances. Question number 2. Can an interrogator rape the prisoner in order to obtain a confession? Mesbah Yazdi answered, the necessary precaution is for the interrogator to perform ritual washing first and say prayers while raping the prisoner. Yeah. If the prisoner is female, it is permissible to rape through the vagina or anus. It is better not to have a witness present. If it is a male prisoner, then it is acceptable for someone else to watch while the rape is committed. This is disgusting, you guys. This reply and reports of the rape of teen male prisoners in Iranian jails may have prompted the following question: is the rape of men and young boys considered sodomy? Ayatollah Mesbah Yazdi said, no, because it is not consensual. Of course, if the prisoner is aroused and enjoys the rape, then caution must be taken not to repeat the rape. Well, if you're going to rape somebody, you're aroused. So the one who's doing the raping and the torturing is aroused. This is disgusting. A related issue in the eyes of the questioners was the rape of virgin female prisoners. In this instance, Mesbah Yazdi went beyond the permissibility issue and described the Allah-sanctioned rewards accorded the rapist in the name of Islam. In other words, if these guys rape a virgin prisoner, female prisoner, they get special rewards from Allah. Now, how sick is this? If the judgment for the female prisoner is execution, then rape before execution brings the interrogator a spiritual reward equivalent to making the mandated Hajj or pilgrimage to Mecca. But if there's no execution decreed, then the reward would be equivalent to making a pilgrimage to the holy city Karbala. One aspect of these permitted rapes troubled certain questioners. What if the female prisoner gets pregnant? Is the child considered illegitimate? Mesbah answered, the child born to any weakling, a denigrating term for women, who is against the supreme leader is considered illegitimate, be it the result of rape by her interrogator or through intercourse with her husband, according to the written word of the Quran. However, if the child is raised by the jailer, then the child is considered a legitimate Shiite Muslim. Now, guys, these people who claim that Islam is a peaceful, loving religion, um, I'm sorry to disagree, but and especially the ones who back up Ahmadinejad. I mean, this is his own spiritual advisor guy saying this stuff. But the whole thing is there are no excuses. And I'm not going to get into any debates with any Muslims. It's in their own writings. It's from their own leaders, their own religious mullahs and ayatollahs and all of that. It comes right straight out of their lips. I refuse to get into a debate or an argument or a discussion with Muslims about stuff like this, basically because their religion condones and even encourages lying in order to further the cause of Islam. That is in the Quran. Now, how can you get into a serious discussion with someone who believes that it is okay to lie? You cannot have a serious conversation. You cannot have a truthful conversation. So I want you to think about these things when you start talking with Muslims or conversing back and forth with them. They are full of lies and deceit. That's the whole thing. And this, that's really just about it. I mean, any religion that condones the raping of women, of men, and what about that part where it says if they're raping a female prisoner, there's not to be a witness, but if they're raping and sodomizing a young male prisoner, that there should be a witness? I mean, what's that all about? Are these guys really that perverted that they get their kicks off of watching this stuff? Now, you know, and these folks that say that they're Muslim but they don't believe in all of this stuff, then they're either lying to further the cause of Islam, as the Quran says, or two, they don't truly believe in the Quran and they're just Muslim by name, like a lot of Christians are. Because if you believe the Quran and you're a Muslim, you have to believe what it says. Otherwise, your religion is false, and you might as well rip it up and throw it away. That's exactly what you should do to begin with. Um, and another thing, they say that the people of the book, the Christians and the Jews, corrupted the Word of God, but they have nothing to back that up with. Their Quran does not give the full account of history, human history, and the Word of God down through the ages, like the Bible or the Quran or the Bible or the Torah does. If that was true, what the Quran says, then where's their proof? Where are their writings? Because somehow or another those writings would have existed through history if it was the true Word of God. I mean, God, I'm sorry, God's not going to go thousands and thousands of years and then all of a sudden send Gabriel down and have him squeeze Muhammad and torture him and tell him to read and tell him to read and tell him to read and keep torturing him when the guy can't read. I mean, come on. Let's get realistic here. God knows, so. But anyhow, I wanted to pass on that information about that condoning of rape and all that kind of stuff. It just totally disgusted me. This newsletter also is, by the way, is free if you go to www.levitt.com and sign up for it. And that's an excellent website, and their programs are absolutely wonderful. I'm out of time, and I just wanted to pass that on to you, and I love you guys. Shalom. Bye.